Counterclaims and commercial dishonor. How to turn debt lawsuits into revenue. What if getting sued for debt wasn't a setback, but an opportunity? Under UCC rules, you can flip the script by filing counterclaims and proving commercial dishonor. This isn't just defense, it's how creditors go on offense. In civil litigation, particularly within the realm of consumer debt collection, most defendants fail not because the creditor proves their claim, but because the debtor fails to assert their own rights. The counterclaim is the single most powerful procedural weapon for reversing power in any lawsuit where a negotiable instrument was involved. When a creditor files suit based on an alleged unpaid obligation, the defendant must first issue a formal answer, affirming, denying, or reserving judgment per line item under Rule 8b of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure or state equivalents. However, most miss the second half of their power, the counterclaim under Rule 13a. Under UCC Section 3-305 and Section 3-306, the holder of a note is subject to all defenses and claims that can be asserted against the original payee, including fraud, lack of consideration, commercial dishonor, and even criminal conversion of the instrument. If a promissory note was monetized at the Federal Reserve discount window, as established in Sections 67 to 68, then any further collection action constitutes double dipping and unjust enrichment. You can counterclaim for conversion of the instrument, breach of fiduciary obligation, failure to provide full disclosure under TILA or RESPA, fraudulent misrepresentation, or even for violation of 15 U.S.C. Section 1692, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and 18 U.S.C. Section 8, Obligations of the United States. This turns the tables. What began as a lawsuit for $7,800 on an old credit card suddenly becomes your demand for $250,000 in damages, supported by affirmative pleadings and proper exhibits, such as an affidavit of dishonor, payment history showing zero valid consideration, and original endorsement proof showing discharge by delivery. Many such cases settle quickly. Why? Because banks and debt collectors are not prepared to defend against counterclaims that expose the true financial chain of custody. Once you assert that the obligation was paid via your original instrument, the burden shifts. Now they must prove that the debt still exists, which is often legally impossible. In litigation, the party with the most knowledge and the boldest paper trail almost always wins. With a proper counterclaim, anchored in contract, tort, and commercial code, you are not just defending, you are monetizing. Footnote: this section demonstrates how counterclaims can convert a defensive posture in debt litigation into an offensive claim for damages under UCC, federal statute, and commercial contract principles.